What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are enjoying your Saturday, but boy, do we have some developments with the COVID variant. And why this is so important, I don't think a lot of people fully understand. It's for a couple reasons. First and foremost, AMC is going to be one of the hardest hit sectors if we were theoretically to go into a lockdown. Now, like I said in the other previous videos, we're not going into a lockdown unless the hospitals get overrun or there is a very high mortality rate, which we have not got any numbers about either one of these data points, but I don't expect this is going to be the case. So no, I don't think lockdowns are coming. No, I don't think this changes anything fundamentally for AMC in the longer term, but in the near term, AMC is going to be dragged down if this fear and uncertainty plays out the way that it did on Friday and continues to play out like this over the next couple of weeks. So that is why it's very important to stay up to date what is happening with this COVID variant. And just to be straight up with you guys, we seen a mass liquidation on Friday. Hundreds of billions of dollars of stock, bonds, all of that got liquidated on Friday. If there is one thing I have learned with my investment journey in the marketplace, is that investors, big time investors with billions and billions of dollars, know when something is not okay. If you follow the money, you will do well, right? You've heard that. Don't fight the trend. That is a well-known saying in the investment community. It works the same way with fear and greed. So this is fear, and it doesn't make sense why we've seen all those liquidations when there was only 100 cases. Maybe I have a tinfoil hat on. Maybe I don't think it's too crazy to think that they know something that we don't and they are getting ahead of it. Just like we started to see random weird sell-offs late November all throughout December, and then we started to see those bigger sell-offs in January, February, and March, mainly in March, but we've seen weird sell-offs the couple months before COVID came out to the public. So this is definitely something to pay attention to. No, I don't think it's going to escalate into something crazy, but it's definitely something that we need to watch for as investors in AMC. So now that you guys got my brief synopsis on why this is so important to pay attention to, if you are an AMC investor waiting for the Moass, we are going to get into the details and the developments of this new COVID variant and what is being said about this now. And after all of that, by the end of this video, we are going to be going over how this could actually turn into a very bullish situation for specifically AMC stock, and this is definitely something you guys want to hear. But the most important thing is that you comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Why do you think big money is liquidating hundreds of billions of dollars on Friday because of a new COVID variant with only 100 cases? Do you think, like history has showed us, big money knows something that we do not? Let me know that information down below in the comment section, as well as anything else you guys want to add. I try to respond to as many comments as possible. Now, let's get into this new development, really two new developments. So no cases of new Omicron COVID variant in the US so far, CDC says, and we're only going to read the key points. So no cases of this variant have been identified in the US to date, the CDC said. The newly identified Omicron variant, referred to as lineage B11529, was first detected in South Africa and raised concerns due to the rapid rise in the number of coronavirus cases in the country's Gauteng province. It has been classified as a variant of concern by the World Health Organization, and this really doesn't mean too much to me offhand, because we know that there's been no known cases of the Omicron COVID variant in the US so far. We know this. We would hear about this if there was. I think this is a pretty headline to try to cool down a lot of people's concerns about this, specifically in the investment community. I think a lot of people are really starting to freak out about this because of what we are talking about here in this video. Now, the other new development is that experts concern new COVID variant Omicron could be more contagious, more vaccine resilient. And that's what we need to talk about here after this, is the vaccine resiliency and what could potentially cause a lockdown as well. We're going to touch on that, and that's going to be the mortality rate and how often people have to go to hospitals, for a lack of a better word. How often do you have to go into a hospital? 1 out of 10 people. Does one person have to go to a hospital, or does 3? That's going to make a big difference when you're talking about potential lockdowns, and the vaccine is really to calm down the marketplace. But we'll talk about that a little bit more in just 1 second. So we're going to read right here. It says, experts are concerned that a new variant of COVID-19, Omicron, could possibly be even more contagious than the Delta variant and more resistant to vaccinations. The new COVID strain was named by the World Health Organization. It was first reported this week in South Africa and has started surfacing in other countries. Starting Monday, November 29th, the United States is banning travel to non-U.S. citizens from South Africa and 7 other African nations. In quotes, I think it really is a big deal, said Dr. Matthew Sims, the director of infectious disease research at Bioma. Concern number 1 is that it's going to be even more contagious than Delta. Concern number 2 is that the vaccine and the antibodies may not work as well. And I think this is going to be the case. I don't think the vaccine is going to work as well with this Omicron mutation, but I do think it will work to a certain extent. Even your common flu vaccines only have about a 60 to 70 efficacy rate, or I believe that's the right word. Don't follow me if I'm wrong in that, but that's the rate that they work and prevent infection, about 60 to 70% for a flu vaccine. COVID vaccines are estimated in between 80 and 98% effective, or 95% effective. It doesn't matter what the real number is. It's very, very high for vaccine standards, and that obviously wanes over time. That's why you have to get all the booster shots and all that shots and all of that you guys kind of already know about. And when you're talking about the vaccine and the Omicron variation, I think there's going to probably be a separate booster vaccine for this. And even if this comes in at 40 or 50% efficacy rate, I think you're going to do well in the marketplace. I think the markets will kind of brush this off. Now, if we don't see those kind of numbers, if we see very low numbers or no numbers, if we see a 0%, meaning the vaccines are worthless against this, that's where you see the trouble. And there is somewhat of a timeline that you can go off of when you're talking about the vaccines and how long they will take. Pfizer, Moderna, these big companies have came out and said roughly in about 100 days, well, in the next 6 weeks, after 100 days from that, they should be able to come up with a vaccine and start sending that out. So you're looking at, probably about March, late February, March, by the time you could actually get a vaccine for this, if it's even going to work against this. There's still a lot we don't know, but that's the timeline that we can go off of right now. Once we get news about the spreading rate, the mortality rate, if there's a difference, just what the differences are between Delta and this one, that's where you'll get more guidance from the stock market if we are going to go into full panic mode, or if we are going to see a nice bounce back up. And why this is particularly good for AMC stock is due to this one fact. AMC is held up much better than all of the other stocks on Friday. And I imagine due to how many people that are holding on to AMC, this will continue to be the case. I think if we do see a sell-off, you're going to see other travel stocks, other sectors of the economy that are similar to the theater industry that do perform much worse than AMC stock. So I think when you do see that bullishness, which will eventually happen either way, head back into the market, you're going to see more people heading into AMC because of how resilient it was. You see this happen all the time with other stocks during fear events. Once that fear event is gone, you tend to see those stocks that held up much better during that peak fear tend to rally much harder. And I do think that is going to be the case with AMC stock, as we do know, as we are going to go over later on today. There's a lot of bullish things that are still in play for AMC stock. If this does subside, like I think it will, you're setting up for a massive rally. So drop that like on the video, consider subscribing to the channel, as well as let me know down below in the comment section, what do you guys think about all of this? The biggest thing, like I said, is it's concerning to see the market take such a downturn off of just 100 cases. That is not a big deal from, compared to what we have been through over the last 2 years, unless big money knows something that we don't. And that's what happened last time with COVID. That's what happens all the time in the world, with finance world. It just happens everywhere. If you have money, billions of dollars, you know things that normal people don't much sooner than normal people. So let me know what you guys think about that. Not a conspiracy theory. I think it's pretty reasonable to kind of think along those same lines. So hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff. Check out the links in the description. If you guys want to get a totally free share of Lucid Motors, sign up for Moomoo with that link in the description. You'll get that free share by signing up and depositing $100. And just for opening your brokerage account, you will get a free stock valued in between $3 and $3,500. So take advantage of that while it does last. Love that brokerage. Been using them ever since I signed up, as well as Public and Webull. Those are the three main brokerages that I have actively been using, as well as that link for the buy and sell alerts. So don't be panicked, guys. Things are a lot better for AMC than its peers in the leisure and hospitality sector. But you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.